Hello, in this video I'm talking about when people get scared driving because of people following them too closely behind. So I've had this car behind me following too closely for about the last mile, and they're one of those annoying people who doesn't seem to understand that if I brake they'll go straight through me. Now it may not look as bad on the camera because the camera, the rear one, often distorts the view and it makes things look further away than they are. But they've been following far too closely for a while, and hopefully when I turn right at this roundabout they'll go the other way. But why do people get scared about things like that? Well, they're actually going the same way as me, I think. You have to understand that it isn't that's the problem. So it's not the person behind you that's causing the issue. It's not actually the fear of them being close. What it is as I often say, it's firing up another emotion, another memory, something from your past, and that's what the problem actually really is. So again, if you work directly on that problem, such as someone being close behind you, I can speed up now and get away from them a bit, but often they'll just accelerate and drive close to you anyway. There are many things you can do about this in therapy to help you get rid of this, because just notice when it happens to me, I don't care, because having been a driving instructor for over 20 odd years, you just get used to it. You get used to the aggression, especially when you're in a driving school car, and people often get angry with learner drivers and, oh, why is this learner sticking to the speed limit? Which I always found quite odd. You know, why can't people understand why a driving instructor and a learner are sticking to speed limits? Anyway, they're going the other way, never mind them. And I'm going to go down this way. So the first thing you can do is you can take therapy, because yes, you can get annoyed. If you just get a bit annoyed by it, that's fine, that's understandable. Anyone can get a bit annoyed. But there's a difference between being annoyed and having a fear. So if you're actually having a panic attack and you're like sweating and shaking and you're really nervous about that, you may get it in places like this where the road's very narrow, going through that tunnel, and this whole road is quite narrow. If it's an extreme reaction to tailgating, which is what we call here in the UK when someone drives right in the back of you, now what you might call riding your bumper, or there's other names for it. If you have an extreme reaction, like you're panicking, you have to pull over, and you're sweating and you want to call for help, and maybe you're thinking about it for hours afterwards, just watching that squirrel on the left there, I wasn't going to run out, then that's when you may need therapy, because that isn't the problem itself. That's with the trigger, so that's setting off another issue, and that's something you do need to take to therapy for. I'm just going to see what's going on here. This is not a good place to meet someone. I'm just going to carry on for a little bit, because I think they're going to back up. Yeah, there's a car behind me, so if I go in here, I can't really go anywhere. Then they're just working out what to do with the dog driving in the car. But there's a bit of a gap further on. I did say it was quite narrow, but they're going to go back a little bit more, and I'm just going to wait for them to go back and go around them. So yeah, this is the kind of situation you get. Just going to wait for them to go back a little bit more. This road is a real pain. It's ever such a narrow road, and especially with the walkers. I've never had it this bad before. So just going to get around this. Let's get this walker out of the way. And there you go. So yeah, just concentrating on what I was doing there. It's in all the times I've been down this road, which is many, many times, I've never ever got stuck like that before. But everyone just met at the same time. Great example though, because if you have a fear of someone tailgating you, then you'd probably get scared in that situation as well. Because like I'm saying, it's not the tailgating that's the issue. It's actually excuse me, coughing. It's actually setting off something else. So you take therapy to find out what that something else is, and then it releases. So what happens is you'll go out driving, and although people will always tailgate, and you have to understand that you'll never stop people tailgating because that's just human nature. Because people tend to do stupid things. I don't really get what those people are thinking myself, because I don't do that ever. I mean, imagine if someone's in front of you and they're driving slowly, you just stay behind them. You don't get up the back of them and get aggressive and start shouting and screaming. But some people are just like that. It's just their, my personality is just take it easy, chill out. So what? Let's say someone in front of me now was I'm doing 23. Well, I just stick at 23, wait for them to do what they're doing, and then I carry on. But some people are not like me. They're very aggressive and get out of the way. Oh, you're on my road, you're in my way. And I think they own the road. Well, they don't. And those people have often got more of a problem than you have, because you have to wonder what makes people act like that, why they get so aggressive and angry. Well, it's because they've got issues to work on. So if you have got that, there are two things you can do. That's the point of this video. The first one is, if it's just a minor thing, you can learn to laugh at it. Something I've often done over the years is you just make fun of them. I've got a video I did about this several years ago. What I imagine is that the person behind me is in a rush, really needs the toilet, and they're just desperate for the toilet and they can't get there, and they're rushing and rushing and rushing. That can help to imagine that they're in a funny situation. You can make fun of them, not in the real world, but in your head. You just kind of make a funny story up, and it changes the way your mind perceives things. I wish this car would change the way it perceives speed limits, because it keeps beeping when I'm not speeding. But there you go. So yeah, there is that. Or what you can also do is take therapy, because if it's more of a deeper seated thing where you're shaking and you're scared and you really have to pull over and you just can't face it, then that's more than just doing a silly story in your head would deal with. But people are impatient, and it is nice when you come across a driver who actually has patience and they're not aggressive and angry, and you never get anywhere by being aggressive. You just make yourself look stupid. And remember that many people are filming like I do on the cameras. So please don't ever get aggressive. Don't ever be one of those annoying drivers who thinks it's funny to get right on the back of someone. They've got their own issues to deal with, but just chill out and take it easy. And if they want to go screaming and shouting, well, just let them get on with it, because they're the one that's going to regret it. I can tell you from experience that if you just chill out, imagine someone behind me now has been aggressive and they're flashing the lights and blasting the horn, and they go round you and they stick their finger up and then they start brake checking you, and whatever, you can just do that. Because I'll tell you something, and I know you've some experience of driving for a long time, a few minutes or an hour or so after that, I would have forgotten it. I'll just be carrying on with my day. But they'll be thinking about it, thinking, hold on a minute, why did I do that? What was all that about? And then start thinking, was that guy filming me? Is he going to report me to the police? Because if you don't know, in the UK, you can actually submit dashcam footage to police, and you can have people prosecuted if you present dashcam footage of them being aggressive and breaking the law. And they're going to be worrying about that for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, up to 6 months you've got to report them. And they'll be thinking every time there's a knock on the door, there's a letter comes to the post, did I get caught? And people do think this, because I've worked with people who've come to me and have said, I need to stop doing this because I've done that. And I've done this with driving lessons and in therapy. I've worked with people who have road rage, and it's quite interesting to talk to them and get their perspective on why they do it. And they often say, I just don't know why I do it. Well, in some ways, it's because, like I say, they have an issue, or maybe they were just brought up with an aggressive driver in the family and that's what they learned to do. But often they'll just say, I've got no idea why I did that. Well, let me give you a bit of a tip if you stayed watching this long. Having said earlier, I don't know why they do it. Well, I do, because there is a rule of the mind that whenever there is a conflict between imagination, between emotion and logic, the emotion wins. So if you know that you really shouldn't do something, but you've got all wound up and you're angry, you'll do it because emotion beats logic. That's one reason people have driving anxiety. It's reasons that people get married to people who are completely unsuitable. You think, why do I love this person? And you can't explain it. You know they're bad. You know they're really bad for you and you really shouldn't be with them, but you just can't help it because that's emotion. And emotion beats logic. Except sometimes for people such as myself who can, we kind of get it so that for me, it's the other way around. Sometimes logic beats emotion because I have squashed emotions throughout my life due to things that happened in my life. But you pay a heavy price for that, which I'll talk about in other videos. So anyway, I hope that's helped you understand. Please check out these other videos of mine on the screen now. Please do subscribe to my channel if you want to watch more of my videos, and if you want to work with me one-to-one online, contact me through my website firstdrive.com. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you again soon for more videos.